Alright, so I'm here to show you how to get banned for 5 days in Path of Exile. So the first thing you want to do is find a item, good target I suppose, and then you want to use the same piece of currency on it multiple times, and then get banned and have those items be deleted. Uh, One important thing, you gotta crash the servers between each time you use it. That's kind of important. So basically, a guy in my guild said to me that there was this weird bug going on where you could swap out a gem and cause like kind of like a snapshotting error. I'm not really sure what was causing it, um, but basically you could have spell totems that shot out vol sparks. You lay a spark totem and then replace it with a vol spark, and now the totem's simply shooting out vol sparks. Works with traps and mines as well. Um, so yeah, just like a weird snapshot bug. I'm not really sure why it works. Normally, if you ever swap a gem out in a spell totem or a mine or a trap, it simply breaks those things. But for a few instances, it didn't work that way. So say like Fireball, Spark, Trap, Molten Shell, Ice Nova, and I think that was actually it. But all those spells never actually destroyed the totem. So the totem would just start casting Volspark for some reason. I'm not really sure why it did that either, but it just started doing that. So it's just like this wackadoo bug, and it has some really weird results. So, this is at Zeri times 10,000 sparks. Strange yellow ring, I'm not really sure why that's there. I don't really know how much damage is in this room. It's beyond conceivable, but yeah, something like that was made possible for a little while. So yeah, I was screwing around with this on stream for a long time, and I tried out pretty much everything, like every combination. I used Vol Ice Nova, and then it just like crashed the game. I'm not really sure why it did that, but it just like crashed. So I was like, oh okay, and I tried it like 4 times, and it just kept crashing. So it's like, okay, Vol Ice Nova doesn't work. But then I figured out if you have Vol Ice Nova, or if you replace Vol Ice Nova into the spell totem, without Ice Nova casting, it actually does just keep casting Vol Ice Nova regularly. So that was just like, okay, there's just this weird thing going on. And that was that. Like, I didn't have a level of Vol Ice Nova, so I didn't really bother using it that much. It was also like not that interesting. Like, Volspark just blew up the whole screen, and Vol Fireball was just hilarious. But yeah, that's all it did. And eventually we came back to Vol Ice Nova and figured out that it was crashing the instances in such a way it was causing a rollback. Rollbacks in this game are really bad. If a rollback happens, it means that basically like the last couple minutes you were playing the game never happened. Like if you had some insane drop, like so you had like a combs drop for you, like that sweet comb sign you always wanted, and then the game or your instance crashed, and then you got a rollback. Your sweet ring is gone, and then like it's just horrible. Then you get like something else. So back in open beta, this happened a whole lot. Like I would be running docs, get like 20% or so, and then the server would crash, and then I'd lose like 20% from like the whole docs instance just going down, and not like saving into the server wherever it saves up into the ether cloud or whatever. So yeah, like rollbacks in this game are bad. Like you don't really want them to even be in the game. But this way of crashing the game by swapping in Vol Ice Nova while Ice Nova was casting on a spell totem would simply crash the server in such a way it would force a rollback. So yeah, you can. So we tried to like do some things with this. Like we tried to dupe some currency, dupe some uniques or whatever, dupe some items. Like that didn't work at all. And then I tried using a Chaos Orb on a 5-link, and that actually worked. So I used the Chaos Orb, crashed the server, and then I had my Chaos Orb back, and my 5-link was still in its original state. That's really bad. Like, that's insanely bad. Like, that's the worst thing that could ever happen in this game, because it completely delegitimizes any sort of crafting in the game. Like, if you can force a rollback, you have infinite eternal orbs for free. Like, that's so bad. And basically the moment I discovered that, I was like, okay, the servers are going to go down in a half hour or somebody's going to get banned. Like, that was like just my gut reaction off that. I mean, at that point, while I was streaming this to the odd crowd of 600 people, yeah, that was that. Like, that had been discovered, and there was no going back. Like, I could turn off the stream, but that doesn't really matter. Because now it's just people who know and people who don't. So, like, pretty much just go for broke at that point. Like, turn on the stream, like what? Then people are just gonna claim that I was just crafting a whole bunch of shit off camera. I mean, basically, damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario at that point. So basically, go full retard at that point. So I tried vol orbing some shit. Vol orbs are interesting. Anything you vol orb can never be modified again. Well, you can still use Varici at level 8 to change the sockets, but that's about it. And that's mainly just so like, it's possible to get like a +1 gems chest if you actually wanted it enough. Like, you wouldn't have to get like 56 links and then like vol orb those one at a time to get like a +1 gems or whatever you wanted. So you could, just keep corrupting like, node sockets, and then when you got the one roll you wanted, you could force sockets onto it. So there's like a way to get the exact gear you want. But yeah, if you vol orb an item, you can't ever vol orb it again, and modifying it becomes really, really hard to do at that point. And this bug allowed us to vol orb and then roll back and then vol orb the same item multiple times. So that basically means you only need one 6 link to ever vol orb anything. You basically have eternal vol orbs, which, like, those don't even exist in the game to begin with. So I could force roll any roll I wanted onto any item with a vol orb. So that's like really powerful. So then I force rolled a white socket onto a void eye, and that was just kind of that. It took like 3 tries, whatever. So we get like that kind of point. Yeah. So force roll a white socket onto a void eye. Like, that's interesting. It was really easy though. Like, it was so easy to do. Like, it wasn't just that it was easy, it was that it was very reliable. However, a bug like this shouldn't really be in the game to begin with, because if you can only do something once in the game, there's no reason for it to be what I would call true random. So there's like 2 types of random. There's like seeded value random, and there's like true random. This game uses true random. Like, if it's a seeded value, you'll simply go through the steps. Like, there will be the chaos result from the first chaos, the chaos result from the second chaos, the chaos result from the third chaos, and so on and so forth. If you rolled the server back, the rolls would still be the same no matter how many times you rolled it back. Like, it would just continuously use the previous seed to get the next set of rolls based off that just item. There was some like secret item ID or whatever. So even if you vol orb an item, you would just simply know what the vol orb would be, or know what the vol orb would turn that item into, and there would be no way to like guarantee anything on it. So if this bug ever happens again, like if anyone ever figures out a way to actually like crash the server in such a way you could actually force a rollback, this bug will still never exist. But like, that's just kind of the case of it. Right now, I'm not really sure if it's been changed. I have no way of verifying it because fortunately I can't crash the servers anymore. So sorry, and I might be able to if I do some illegal stuff like, amplified DDoS attacks or something like that. But I don't really want to, and I'm sure GGG wouldn't appreciate it. So basically, I don't really know if like the real bug has been fixed. Like, the way currency is used in this game, I'm not sure is good right now. Because if there's any like way to do this, then you have access to all sorts of powerful crafting abilities. But yeah, this is actually a really polarizing event in the PoE community, because basically there was the group of people who wanted to be banned forever, the group of people who said I should just be banned for a little while, and then there was a group of people who said I should be paid for discovering it, which I thought was the oddest response. But whatever. To each their own. That's just like the events that happened in my, like, according to me. Like, believe me if you want. But yeah, that's how to get banned for 5 days. Yeah, the original video, like the 20 or so minute portion of like when we discovered this to when I got banned, will be in the description. And yeah, so yeah, I'm good at it, and I will see you next time.